Hello, this is Algebra, topic 8-1. We're going to be graphing quadratic functions. So let's go ahead and talk about semantics. A quadratic equation looks like 0 equals ax squared plus bx plus c. We used a lot of these back in Unit 7. A quadratic function looks like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. These are the differences. So the function has input values that are called the domain and output values that are called the range. So we're going to be dealing with domain and range here. Now a quadratic function produces a graph that we call a parabola. So that's just some terminology and some semantics as far as equation and function. But let's go ahead and get to the nitty-gritty and graph this. So x squared minus 4. I'm actually going to show you a very easy way to do this using your graphing calculator. On your graphing calculator, you'll notice that y equals is right here. So if you click on that, you'll get to this screen where you can clear, and you can actually just type this in, x squared minus 4. Now, because we want a table of values, we're going to go to the section that says Table. Notice it's in blue. Well, to get to blue, you have to hit the second button, and then over here to Graph, which is also Table. And it gives us a bunch of information. Well, I want to go ahead and scroll up here where it talks about -3, because the last time I used this calculator, I was dealing with some other numbers. So over here, well, the value at -3 is 5. At -2 is 0. At -1, -3. 0, -4. 1, -3. 2, 0. And then I need to scroll down one more, and it hits 5. Well, now we graph them. So -3, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -2, 0. -1, -3. 0, -4. 1, -3. 2, 0. And 3, 5. And there's my parabola. Make sure that your line actually goes to the points and that you have the points plotted. That's what I'm going to be looking for when I grade your assignment. So this is a parabola following this quadratic function. Some important things to know. That would be the vertex. It's the point of the parabola where it reaches a minimum or a maximum, depending on whether it opens up or down. We also have the axis of symmetry. Okay? It's where you can reflect one part of the parabola over the other. And so here, my axis of symmetry falls right here. It always goes through the vertex. Okay? Okay, it always goes through the vertex. So let's go ahead and use some of this knowledge to answer some problems. So for each of these functions, we want to find the axis of symmetry, the vertex, and to graph it. Now, we can find the axis of symmetry using this formula right here. Remember A, B, and C? Well, here, A equals 1, B is -4, and C is 5. So our axis of symmetry would be -, negative 4 over 2 times 1, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. So axis of symmetry would be x equals 2. So I come over here to 2. I'm going to go ahead and draw my axis of symmetry. Now to find our vertex, I know that x equals 2, so I'm just going to plug 2 in. Y equals 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 5. On my calculator, second quit to get out. And now 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 5 gives me 1. So this would be 2, 1. So 1, 2, 1. There's my vertex. And now we graph it. Well, let me go ahead and plug in negative 1. Actually, I'm just going to use some positive numbers. So I've already graphed it at 2, so now we're going to use 3. So 3 squared minus 4 times 3 plus 5. Just pull up the same thing, and we're going to replace those 2's with 3's. And it gives us 2. And I know I can reflect it, so if I'm here, that means I can also go over here. Now, a faster way to do this is actually just use the calculator. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. Table it, and you'll get a bunch of points. Plot the ones you can. So, negative 1, 10. Negative 0, 5. And actually, once you've plotted 1/2, you can just copy the other half. Okay? So I can either do this to find all my points, or graph one side, then reflect it. Okay? Your calculator will be very helpful for this. However, I do want to see your work to find the axis of symmetry and the vertex. I want to see this work on your paper. Alright. Moving on to example number 3. My axis of symmetry is negative b over 2a. So it'd be negative 2 over 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2 over negative 2, which is just 1. So x equals 1. My vertex, negative 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 1. Is 0. So my point is at 1, 0. I'm going to use my calculator to find 2 points. I'm just going to plug in some different information. Instead of 1, we're going to do 2. And that gives us negative 1. And then I'm going to do 3. That gives me negative 4. And then we're just going to mirror those points over. Okay? So, that's how you can graph a quadratic function. Shouldn't be too hard. Just go ahead and find your axis of symmetry, find your vertex, and then you can use your calculator pretty heavily to find your additional points and actually graph it. Good luck on this assignment. Have a good day.